Hi there, welcome to chapter 25. So they found the necklaces of the dogs and there were hearts on them and in which the names of the dogs have been engraved. Let's continue the story. Ich habe auch Foxys Futternapf gefunden. So what's interesting here is Futter, which basically is fodder, which I know as cannon fodder in English. It's basically food. Yeah, it's the same as food, but it's for animals. And a napf is in English, or in US English, there's a word nappy I've learned, and it is basically a bowl. So it's the football of the dogs. Ich glaube, wir haben den Entführer. So glauben, yeah, we had geliefern, or maybe with an F, I'm not sure, and that turned into believe, just as a reminder. And the B and the V, they are somehow related. If you speak Spanish, you will understand that even better. So Entführer, führen, well, you know, der Führer, yeah, was Adolf Hitler. He was called like this because he was the leader. So End is basically away, yeah, or misleader, and in this case, that's the kidnapper. Interesting connotation here, right? So he's leading them away. Führen, by the way, is related to fare, which also means to live. And in German, you also say ein gutes Leben führen, to live a good life or to fare a good life. Dann überlegt kurz. Remember, kurz is the opposite of lang. So then overlays. So if you lay one thought over the other, what you're doing is you ponder. Yeah, I'm not sure whether kurz necessarily works with pondering, because pondering, I assume, is something rather long, but in this case, he's thinking, yeah, considering. I think that's a better word. Nur die Hunde habe ich noch nicht gefunden. Not much to say here. You possibly can figure that out on your own. The nur is a very common word, and it only has one letter in common with the English translation, only. But you will pick that up with a vocab trainer as well, no worries. Yeah, this is not about you remembering all the words or anything. This is really more priming you. Aber ich glaube, ich habe etwas gehört. The beginning, you know, gehören, one of my favorites. Yeah, or if I turn this around, I get the or, which is the ear, and if I put an H in front of it, I have hören. Lovely relation to English. Simone ist ebenfalls ganz aufgeregt. Well, we see the GE here and the T at the ending. That's a past form. We had regen before, and careful, it's usually sich regen, which is not given here, but regnen, that's to rain. Dich regen is to move. Yeah, so that's a huge difference. And regen, regnen, just to give you the difference here. So someone is moving and it's moving up and down, so they are actually excited. That's what you do when you're excited. Ebenfalls is even, like evenly. And well, ebenfalls, in this case, the falls I cannot really put into relation. So just that you know, it is related to even. If something is even, likewise. Yeah, so if something's even, it's alike, and that might be a good way to remember this. So she's also quite excited. Okay, Stefan, can delete that. Bring die Halsbänder und den Napf wieder zurück. Let's do it like this. So bring the Halsbänder. Hals we looked into before, I think. You remember the German gang, the Hals Angels, yeah? They are called like this because they have long necks. And the band, a band is basically a line or a lace here. So it's literally the neck lace, yeah, necklace. And the Napf, we just said that, the nappy, the bowl, again to the back. Mach bitte Fotos davon und schau, ob du noch etwas findest. Let's do it like this. 3 sentences. Yeah, this is an imperative, so there is no subject necessary. So it's saying do this. So mach, make, and in German, and so make. Well, photos you have, right? Make photos. We don't take photos. Why would I take them? They're not mine. We make them with help of a camera. That off, yeah, da, that is short for das von. And bitte comes from bidding. If I bid you, I always say please. So please may take pictures of that and see or look. Yeah, the show needs someone that sees it, that looks at it. If, and you remember, if it's up, we prefer whether you still something find, whether you find something else. Yeah, so they're in the cellar of the neighbor where they found the nappies. Nickt aufgeregt und verschwindet wieder im Keller. If there's a subject missing, you can assume that it is the same as from the sentence before. We just don't repeat them. We don't need that. So nicken is an interesting word. I have a friend called Nick. He nicks all the time. Well, it might be that he's a knicker, but also he nods all the time. And it's related to genick, which is, I think it's related to naping, and that turns into nodding. Yeah, and so genick is possibly it's the part that you use to do this. Yeah, it's also your neck, but it's rather the hind part. And if you break someone's neck, it's this part, not this. This is to strangle someone, just in case you want to become an expert in how to kill people. So he's nodding excitedly, aufgeregt. We had that just a second ago. And verschwinden, we had kind of dwindle, which might be related, and this means he vanishes. Yeah, dwindle, as far as I remember correctly, is to become less and less, and the same with vanishing. And he vanishes again in the Keller, cellar, cell. Simone wartet. Actually, didn't look this up, but the warden loves to wait for a long time. So yeah, warden as being a mnemonic to remember wart. So it means to wait. She waits, and after 10 Zen minutes. So wird sie nervös. Wird is the only verb in the sentence, so it is translated as become, and she becomes nervous. She gets nervous. Stefan kommt nicht zurück. Easy going for you. Let me give you another sentence in the meantime. Das ist aber seltsam. Das, not followed by anything with a capital letter, so it means that is, but seldom. Yeah, we actually have the first 4 letter identically. So seldom, it's really rarely seen. Some here actually has the origin of seeing. So it's seldomly seen, which means that's rare, and that's something that's rare seems weird to us very often, and therefore seltsam means weird. So groß kann der Keller doch nicht sein. Doch, don't translate, it's emphasis. So I think not much to explain here. Just whenever you have a verb on the second position and you have a second verb, it goes to the very end. Yeah. and it simply means can't be so big. Ja. Ich schaue besser noch einmal nach, denkt Simone. Denken, think, yeah, which is to think, thinks Simone. And schauen or nachschauen, we talked about that. The schauen needs someone that looks at it. So nachschauen is to look after, and that's basically to check. Yeah, and besser in this case, I better, well, it's the same, a better again. And what's missing kind of, ich schaue besser einmal nach. I would say again, actually, I check better, ich schaue besser einmal nach. That's an interesting construction. Like I better take a look. So this einmal is not translated. That's why I was actually looking for this. I better check again. So this would be more natural. Schau besser einmal nach is not wrong, but einmal here doesn't seem to be translatable. Sie macht ihre Taschenlampe an. Remember Taschenlampe? What is made of tissues? Bags and pockets. So her pocket lamp. And she makes it on. Make on, and if you make something on, you're basically turning it on. So in German we have anmachen und ausmachen for electrical devices. My mobile, my TV, whatever you use. Yeah, and we also have we have aufmachen, which means auf means open, and zumachen, which means close. Yeah, so there's a certain relationship here. Yeah, and it's of course still Simone, and sie geht leiser Minelli die Treppe. Trap, it's a trap. So the trap is the stairs or on the stairs, so you tumble hinunter there downwards. Yeah, basically down. And hin just indicates, is it towards the person in question here, or is it away from the person? And here it's away from the person, which is Simone. That was chapter 25. Hope you enjoyed it, and see you in chapter 26.